I grew up, I was the youngest of three. I had an older brother who's 5 years older than me. My sister Teresa, who's the only lefty of the family, she's 7 years older. She bowled. They bowled league bowling. My brother still bowls a little bit. My parents bowled also. They were like 160, 170 average bowlers, and I was 4 or 5 years old, and I fell in love with the sport as soon as I threw the first ball. I had I think my first 200 when I was 8 years old. I had the front 8. I shot my first 600 when I was around that age. Bowled high school, I was 13, and throwing only urethane back in the 80s, 90s or so. I averaged 200 in high school and 213 my senior year of high school. It was just something that I was a little step ahead of everybody else. But having an older brother growing up and bowling against him and his friends, and it just made me a better bowler. I think that helped me along, just bowling against people who are older and just maybe, I don't say more experienced, but that higher level just got me to that higher level and made me the bowler, the competitive, gave me that competitiveness that I have today, that I've had for the last 30 years. And then I went to college. I bowled my college for 1 year, and then I bowled Team USA, made Team USA, did that for 2 years, and then I went on the ladies tour, 96. I made for a third year for Team USA, but I opted to go on the ladies tour, and then that was it for me. But yeah, bowling was in my blood since day one.
Cannot get any higher pin count than all 10 in one ball. Liz Johnson shaking her head. I think she's starting to realize, hey.
I just won the U.S. Open, I think she just said.
The rookie sensation of 1996, Liz Johnson, not only captures her first singles title, but it's the PWBA U.S. Open. What a feeling this has to be for her.
96 U.S. Open was my rookie year. Still have the ball. It's a Red Pulse I have in my basement. It's a Red Pulse. I have it signed, 1996 U.S. Open, Liz Johnson. And we bowled kind of like Columbus, where we were side by side with the men. That was my first actually not my first U.S. Open, but my rookie year on the ladies tour. I was high seed for a little while, and then Marianne DeRupo had a really good block, so I ended up being I think it was 3rd or 4th seed, and the TV show was at Market Square Arena. So not only did I make the finals, but it made it an arena finals, and you had 1,000 people watching you when I was 22 years old. So yeah, the women bowling, I think the men bowled after that. I had to bowl Tish first, Tish Johnson, and then Carol Norman, and then Marianne in the final match. And I think I averaged 250 on the show. So I was a 22-year-old kid. It's one of those things that at that age, I think you just, you don't know anything. You're just going forward. You don't think about anything. You don't do anything. It's just. Sometimes not thinking is the best way to look at it or not look at it. So if you're in a bowling center and then you go to an arena final, you always have to expect the unexpected. I mean, it's going to be completely different, and they were completely different for that TV show. But I don't think I've ever. I mean, I was pretty scared. I was like, I don't know, mumbling my words and all that stuff throughout the finals. And I think later on, fast forward to that, I think. After the first part of the ladies tour, also, I learned to not care as much as far as, saying the wrong thing or doing the wrong thing, or as far as doing interviews. Because I used to be petrified of making TV, believe it or not. That was another thing probably a lot of people don't know is I was scared. I was scared to, in a way, scared to win. Once I stepped on the lanes, I was great because your back is to people. You don't see anything, but a lot of our TV shows were 7 o'clock at night, so you had that whole day to think about it. I'd be one of those people that I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep. I didn't want to know anything because all our interviews were right before the show. And then once the interviews were done, you can step on and breathe and relax, and you get on the approach, you can't see anybody, nobody can see you. You just see the pins. So once all that stuff was done, I was able to focus on bowling. You know, if I won, I was scared. If I was second, I was almost relieved because it's like you didn't have to, you know, get up in front of people.
First year on the professional tour, she wins a major. Liz, are you okay? Okay, she's speechless. She's not okay right now. Let's see, Rookie of the Year, what do you think? I'll answer that for you. No doubt. Few tournaments left, no way. Congratulations. It's your first major. It's your first singles title. Obviously destined for even greater things ahead.
This is just absolutely a dream come true. It's just been a great week bowling with next to all the guys, and this is just unbelievable. I just like to thank the BPAA, the Woodland Bowl, and my caddy Myra over there, and thanks for everyone for coming out. Thank you.
I was like that in my early mid-20s, and I learned to just, you know, shake, you know, just literally shake it off, and you know, there's a reason why you're here, and you know, you're great at what you do, and it doesn't matter what, at the end of the day, who cares? Just go out and bowl and win and have fun, and you know, get those trophies or get whatever, and you know, enjoy it.
Ooh, there's a 9-pin, but Liz Johnson walks Leanne Barrett to add the Greater Orlando Classic title to her resume. Karen and Conrad, also her brother Mike and his wife Renee, they have a new baby boy. Covers it up, and Liz Johnson is the 4th champion here at the St. Clair Classic. Wow, and she got it. Liz Johnson has just won her 4th title of the year. 11 out of 12, now make it 12 out of 13.
That's it, she's got it.
So Liz Johnson grabs her first title of the season as the Lady Ebonite Classic champion.
Pull this ball even harder. Good call, Marsh.
It's hers if she can take it. Liz Johnson, for the first time in her great bowling career, the sigh of relief in victory. She has won her first ever USBC Queens Championship here in Reno, Nevada.
Will be the men's winner in the upcoming Battle of the Sexes, which comes after the men's title, and another fortunate strike for Liz Johnson, the winner of the 2013 Women's U.S. Open.
It was a grind, a different grind, where we bowled and couldn't go home. You were on the road 3 to 6 weeks at a time, and you knew the day of the week by what you were bowling that day. Qualifying was Monday, match play was Tuesday, Wednesday, TV show was Thursday. But yeah, you had, you know, the ones I grew up watching: Leanne Barrett, Hulsenberg, Wendy Mack, Nikki Giannoulias. Those were the ones that I always looked up to and was in awe of. And they were, at the time, they were the ones that kind of probably a little bit more high rev hook players. Nikki Giannoulias, and then you had Michelle Feldman, who probably nobody hooked it more than her, and of course Leanne Barrett. And then you had a lot more down and in players, and it was just a grind from week to week. There was probably less players, but you know, the talent was just as great, and it was just everything was match play too. It was qualifying and then match play. Everything was 24 games of match play, so you were literally bowling 42 games a week, in a matter of 3 days, plus a TV show, plus practice. And it was similar but different. It was just, maybe we had a few more tournaments, but a lot more games. And it was just a different grind. Well, I started when I was 21, and the tour folded when I was 28. Folded in summer of 2003, and we thought we were coming back in that February, March, and nothing ever happened. And then from then on, I think we just had majors, if that. I think I think 2004, everything, there was nothing in 2004, and then they started back up in 2005. I know we didn't have a U.S. Open in 2004. It was just, I think there was like 1 or 2 women's tournaments the following year. They brought something back in Rockford that year in 2004, but that was about it. Just had to figure out something else, and that's when I started bowling on the men's tour.
That's a winner, Rob.
It's been a good year so far for Liz Johnson. Won the
Yes! 300 is alive and well! It's all up to Norm Duke.
Norm.
Oh, Norm!
I told her she was better than I was at the 10.
Today we make history. For the first time ever on a PBA Tour event, a woman makes our TV finals.
First ever woman PBA Tour TV show come through again.
Yes, she can. Incredible. 5 pins to win this match and make a final. Can you believe it?
Keep it on the lane, and she's advancing. Look at that, look out! That's what
6.
Move left!
Oh,
Move left,
goodness.
Liz!
She did it. She got 6, she needed 5. And look at her friends from Buffalo who made the trip. Tanya, Angela, Jimmy, and Jay. Well worth that crazy drive through downtown Toronto when they got their direction straight. There's a cover, there's a winner.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
She really has to win here or at the Worlds. In the pocket there for Liz. Works on a spare. 8th frame. Down 7.
Oh! Big trip 4 right there.
Extraordinary drama from Grand Rapids. Wow, really big break. That wasn't a split, didn't like off her hand at all. Just a 10-pin for Liz. Blazes a trail into PBA Tour history here in Grand Rapids. It'll fall a little bit short of a tour win, but still unforgettable to all who are a part of this.
I had no idea what was going to happen. I just, you know, I had an opportunity. I took it. I'm like, well, let's try. You never know what's going to happen. You know, I'm 29 years old. I still have a lot of games and a lot of life in me. And I got an opportunity, and it was Wickliffe, Ohio, and I made it out of the PTQ, and that was my first cash. That was, I believe, October, November 2004. Fast forward March 2005, and drove to Grand Rapids, and I remember walking into that bowling center, and you know, it's like, why, you know, you get that look of, you know, you got women bowling in the tournament, and made it out of the PTQ, and I think my first or second match was Barnes. I beat him, and I think I ended up winning 3 or 4 matches to get to the TV show, and then of course it was Wes Malott, and then I lost to Tommy Jones, and I got, I mean, I had an amazing 7 years prior to that on the ladies tour, but the amount of enthusiasm and fans and recognition I got from making that show and just finishing second was amazing, and it just gave me the confidence to keep going on. I just remember, you know, being at home in New York, and I think it was just maybe talk about it, so that's probably where I was at. I was home. I think they made an announcement here, actually, when they got a bunch of us together in a meeting, and I believe Chad came in and said we had a 3-year agreement to come back for the ladies tour. So I believe it was here. We had a bunch of people who took pictures and stuff, and then they made us have a small players meeting of the girls. It was a smaller group of what it is now, probably a good 30, 40 girls. And they said it was a 3-year agreement. I remember that now, that like it was yesterday. You know, you lose, it's basically you lose your job when you're at the peak of your career, and then all of a sudden it's like, you know, yeah, I'm 41. It's like a lot of time has passed, but I'm like, I can still do this. And, you know, it felt great to be able to get back out on the lanes after, you know, after 12 years. My goal obviously was winning Player of the Year, and to be able to do that, and to do that 3 years in a row in my 40s, when I had best years of my life, you know, it's never, you can never count, you know, count anybody out. Where they say age is just a number. It was, you know, 41, 42, 43 for me were my best years. And I mean, 2017, I won the Queens. I won the Queens here, the Players Championship, and I won the PBA stop at the age of 43. 2017, 2015, I won the Queens here. So, and some other TV shows. And it was just, you know, some of the best bowling years of my life. And I just wanted to keep doing it. And you know, nothing or no one or anything could ever take that away from me.
Detroit.
That one's pretty good.
And Liz likes it, and Liz Johnson is your champion this week at the PWBA Detroit Open.
The PWBA Tour for the summer of 2015.
Thank you, guys.
She knew right where to go.
Carol Norman, I love you. You can both keep pro shops. Thank you. I love you guys.
7 to win, Liz Johnson. 7. What she needed exactly. And barely. She has won the 2015 U.S. Women's Open Championship. I do too. I'd love to call one of your matches. She may be a Hall of Famer. She's nowhere near done. Liz Johnson at the top of her game.
Queens in 2015, the Open in 2015, the Open in 2014. Gonna hug Shannon, but first she's gonna hug the trophy. She knows where to find that trophy. 5 championships for Liz Johnson as a U.S. Women's Open champion. Incredible bowling.
Two-time reigning Tour Player of the Year, has won for the first time in 2017.
Great bowling. So good.
Nothing like 10th frame of a major. First shot for Liz Johnson. Yeah! Liz Johnson has done it again for the 9th time in her legendary Hall of Fame career.
Looks good.
It is good. And Liz Johnson,
Seeing the emotions,
is fighting back the tears here. She needs 2 pins to wrap it up. And we are on the verge of yet another chapter of this incredible story. The legend lives on. Liz Johnson has done it again. For the 4th consecutive time, she has won the U.S. Women's Open. Legend Liz, one more victory.
There you go.
Cross, I love you, Mom and Dad. We did it. Don and Carol, you can bowl too. Pro shot. We did it. Thank you, everybody.
What a popular victory this is going to be around the bowling world. Liz Johnson has done it.
I mean, I was so close that one time, the first time in Michigan, but it was just like, for me, that was cliche where I was just happy to be there, and, you know, I couldn't believe it, you know, to make to win the first match and then finish second. But to be able to do that in Reno, which is a place that I feel I've always felt very comfortable and very secure in, and I've had a lot of success there. But to be able to do it against that group of people, the best PBA bowlers in the world, on that stage, it was just like, you can never put into words. It's still one of the best. I mean, I've been very proud of all my success throughout my years and championships, and that was probably one of the best days of my life also. Be able to do it in Reno and doing it in front of your sponsors and your peers, and you know, I beat Wes Malott and Tom Smallwood, and to do that the way I did it, I had to strike out in the 9th and 10th frames because that was not a low-scoring match. And then to bowl Anthony Pepe for the final match, it was, I mean, that was one of the greatest days of my life professionally. I think to this day, I still watch that show, which I just watched it the other day. I probably watched that show 100 times, at least. And sometimes I go back if I'm feeling a little out of sorts on the lanes. I go back and watch that show. It kind of gives me a little boost in my confidence. So I feel like I'm one of the luckiest bowlers because I had the great bowlers who I got to grow up watching. I got to bowl with them for 7 years, and then had the break, bowled against the guys, and still bowled with the ladies too, and then got to bowl on this tour since for the last 9 years, still been able to compete and win, and as well as watching all the great young talent that's come along the way. I loved being out here, I loved competing. As you get older, the travel is a little harder, like anything, but like I feel like once I step out on the lanes, it's like no other. You know, I still love the sport, but I was a competitor to the very end. You know, sometimes if you're not doing so well and, 5th from the bottom or 10th from the bottom or whatever, and it's like, I would never, no matter what, I would be bowling for pride. Like maybe the last couple of weeks I have struggled a little bit, I'm just bowling for pride, but it's one of those things I never gave up. I never stopped anything to the very last shot, and I was a fighter on the lanes from day one. Some of the bowlers that I grew up watching, to me, were the GOATs, were the female GOATs, or the GOATs. You had Lisa Wagner and Alita Sill, Wendy McPherson. Those were the ones I grew up watching, and they were the reasons why I'm sitting here right now, and did this for 30 years of my life. And to be able to have that from the bowlers now, it's a pretty awesome feeling, and I'm very touched and humbled and grateful for it. You get kind of like shy or whatever, but because I don't like talking about myself too much, but it's always a great feeling knowing that your peers feel that way about you, whether, like you said, male, female. I just, like I said, from day one, I just always loved to bowl and I love to compete, and you always go up there and pretend you're bowling against the best in the world, and that's my mentality my entire life. And that's what I've always tried to take with me throughout my career, and I think that just helped me along the way. And just the love of the sport. It's pretty awesome because you see some of the young girls who most of them may or may not know who you are, but you just try to just all you can do is just set a good example for everybody on the lanes, off the lanes. I do like watching a lot of the young girls bowl while I'm competing too, because I know all the great talent that's out there. Jordan, the Hope Gramleys, Dasha Kovalova, she's one of my favorite people. I just want to see them succeed because I know how I felt when the ladies tour in the beginning of my career, and it lasted for so long, and then we weren't ever sure we can get it back. So I just say, not to take anything for granted, and just keep doing it and keep loving it, and stay healthy and do the best you can every single time. A lot of great talent, but I hope there's more, somehow, some way you always say get more money, more sponsors, and hopefully there's more out there. But you know, you just want to see this tour succeed for many years to come, because there's so many girls out there now who've been out there for a few years. Some that are just coming up, and some that aren't even probably barely approaching college now, who are going to be great stars. And you want to see this tour go on for a long time. I hope that happens.
If you like that video and want to see more, hit subscribe and never miss a moment.